Krapopolis isn't just a show about gods and monsters. It's about one incredibly dysfunctional family trying to build a civilization, and nearly tearing it down in the process. So today on Cartooth, we're going to be breaking down the family dynamics of Krapopolis, because at the center of every myth and legend is a mother with too much power, a dad with no spine, and siblings who should probably be in therapy. So let's start with Tyrannus, the king of Krapopolis. Tyrannus is intelligent, idealistic, and painfully optimistic, but most of all, he is desperate for approval. Approval from his people, from history, and most of all, his mother. He's a classic overachiever trying to parent his own parent. And the more he tries to create peace, the more his family drags him down into their madness. He wants progress, and they want wine, war, and weird experiments. Tyrannus' mother is Deliria. Deliria is literally the goddess of chaos, which explains a lot. She's clever, seductive, and completely self-serving. Deliria doesn't parent, she undermines. Deliria pushes Tyrannus to lead, but then mocks him when he fails. She's got this passive-aggressive goddess energy, and deep down, it seems like Deliria doesn't really want a son. She wants a miniature version of herself to rule through, which is pretty on point. Then there's Shlub. Shlub is Tyrannus' father, a manticore who is incredibly lazy and completely unpredictable. He's really well-meaning, very sweet, technically always there, but pretty emotionally unavailable, I'd say. Shlub encourages Tyrannus, sure, but they're in very unproductive ways, and they're not usually very helpful in the slightest. Shlub is all vibes and no discipline. He leaves Tyrannus alone to deal with the consequences of everyone else's actions. Honestly, he really reminds me of a dad that would bring you ice cream after getting grounded. All fun and no structure. Tyrannus' half-sister, Stupendous, is the kind of person that would punch your problems instead of listening to them. She is the daughter of Deliria and a Cyclops. She lives for war, glory, and kicking things in the face. Her bond with Tyrannus is actually pretty strong. She kind of respects him until he tries to do so. And when he fails, she says, "You should have let me have a stab at it." Stupendous is the epitome of a sibling who means well, but always escalates everything into a crisis. She's loyal, but also terrifying. And finally, we've got Hippocampus, the child of a mermaid and Shlub. He's the weird genius sibling who is consistently making morally questionable inventions and experimenting on everything. Tyrannus tries to involve him in the civic process, but Hippocampus would rather stay in his laboratory, blowing things up. He's kind of the detached intellectual of the group, kind of too smart to care. Despite the dysfunctional family in Krapopolis, it works because it's so real. Tyrannus seeks approval from a mother who belittles him, a dad who ignores him, and his siblings who constantly pull him in opposing directions, violence versus intellect, while Tyrannus is over here just trying to build something meaningful. Krapopolis exaggerates ancient modern myths and explores them in a new and modern way. And deep down, it's not about city building. It's about surviving the people that you love the most. Which Krapopolis family member is the most chaotic to you? Drop it in the comments.